AKC created the CGC test in order to promote responsible dog ownership. It's a nationally recognized program that instills a sense of responsibility and good manners in dogs and owners alike. Basically, it's a two-part test to set you and your dog up for success. Any sort of training creates a long-lasting trust between you and your dog. The CGC test is a great goal to have with your dog. Not only is it a great way to bond with your dog, it ensures you'll be a good neighbor and good friend to everyone around you, including your dog sitter. The CGC test is a foundation for other AKC sports like obedience, agility, tracking, and performance events. The CGC is open to all dogs, including pure breeds and mixed breeds. Dogs who pass the CGC test receive a certificate or title from the AKC, American Kennel Club. I've actually linked below a resource you can use to find a trainer in your area that administers the CGC test. The hardest part about the CGC test are no training tools are allowed. So no treats, no prong collars, no e-collars, just praise. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on those push notifications so you won't miss another video. Like I said earlier, the CGC is a two-part test. The first part of the test is all about the owner. It's a pledge of responsibility to your dog. The pledge includes, I will be responsible for my dog's health needs. This includes daily exercising, regular bathing and grooming, proper diet and providing clean, fresh water, and routine veterinary care. The second pledge is, I will be responsible for my dog's safety. This includes properly controlling your dog by putting up fencing or making sure that your dog isn't off leash and running around in the neighborhood. It also includes making sure your dog has some sort of identification on them, whether it's a microchip or dog tag. The third pledge is, I will not allow my dog to infringe on the rights of others. So this means no running loose in the neighborhood, not allowing your dog to be a nuisance to your neighbors by continually barking outside in the backyard. It also means picking up after your dog, making sure that you don't leave any poop behind, especially in public and also in the wilderness. The fourth and final pledge is, I will be responsible for my dog's quality of life. Basically, this just means understanding that basic training is beneficial to all dogs, giving your dog attention and playtime, and also knowing that owning a dog is a big responsibility. Owning a dog requires a lot of time and caring. So the second part of the test is all up to the dog. There are actually 10 steps your dog has to pass in order to get that CGC title. Noodle and I actually took the CGC test recently and I was able to get some of it on film. However, my battery died, so I didn't get everything, but you'll definitely get to see some of that footage really soon. Like I said earlier, I think the most challenging thing for us were no training tools. Noodle usually walks with a prong collar and I reinforce positive reinforcement with treats on a daily basis. So it was really challenging for us to take this test with no sort of training tool beyond positive reinforcement. Here are the 10 steps that your dog needs to pass. The first one is accepting a friendly stranger. Your dog has to allow a friendly stranger to approach it and speak to the handler without showing any sign of resentment or shyness. Your dog is allowed to stand up, but they shouldn't show any signs of hiding behind you or even consistently barking. The second step is sitting politely for a petting. Your dog has to allow a stranger to touch it while it is out with its handler. Your dog is allowed to stand in place, but as it's petted, your dog must not show any resentment or shyness. Your dog shouldn't jump on this person. They should literally just be standing in place, wagging their tail. If they're hiding behind you, that's probably not a good sign either. It's all about building your dog's confidence around other people. The third is appearance and grooming. This one is interesting because not only is it checking to see if you are properly taking care of your dog, but it's also testing to see how your dog responds to someone examining them. Whether it's the groomer or the vet, this is testing to see how your dog would do in that environment, in addition to seeing how you take care of your dog. Your dog has to appear in a healthy condition, so this means they should be clean, a proper weight, and seem alert. The examiner will check the ears and also the front 2 paws. Your dog does not have to hold a certain position while being examined. Fourth step is walking loose on a leash. So basically this is demonstrating that you are in control of your dog. As long as it looks like your dog is focused on you, you should be good. You're required to take a right turn, a left turn, and then a U-turn. It's totally up to you if you want to use commands. I used the heel command with Noodle just because it's something he knows. It also is up to you on what side you want your dog to be on. So it could be on your left or your right, that doesn't matter. As long as your dog is listening to you, you're fine. You also can have your dog sit at each turn. So, when you take that right turn, you can have your dog sit. Then take the left turn and have your dog sit. And then you can do the U-turn. So having your dog sit is okay too. It's just really about showing that you're in control of your dog. You want to leave no doubt that your dog is attentive to you while walking on a leash. The fifth step is walking through a crowd. This demonstrates that your dog can move through pedestrian traffic and in public places under your control. You and your dog will have to walk around and closely pass at least 3 people. Your dog can show some interest, but should continue to be focused on you. Your dog cannot show any signs of being out of control, shy, or resentful. So no jumping or straining on the leash. Your dog really needs to be focused on you. The sixth step is sitting and down on command and staying in place. This basically demonstrates that your dog has had some sort of training and shows that your dog listens to you on command. So your dog has to both sit and lay down on your command. For the stay part, it's up to you whether or not you want your dog in a sit or a down position. I had Noodle in a down position because he knows that means chill mode. Once you have your dog in the stay position, you will replace your dog's leash with a 20-foot leash. It's also okay if you have to say the command more than once. This applies to the sit, down, and stay. It's also okay to gently nudge your dog to offer a gentle guidance, but you don't want to force your dog into the position. It's really up to the evaluator on if they think your dog responded to your command or not. Once your dog is in the stay position, you'll tell your dog to stay and walk away with the 20-foot leash extended. Your dog has to stay in the same position you left them until the instructor tells you to release your dog. The seventh step is coming when called. This basically shows that your dog will come when they're called. You will walk 10 feet away from your dog and recall your dog. Recall just means telling your dog to come, calling their name, recall. It's okay if you have to use some words of encouragement, whether it's to get your dog to stay or to come to you. The eighth step is reacting to another dog. This demonstrates that your dog can behave politely around other dogs. You and your dog will approach a friendly stranger who also has a dog. You'll start about 20 feet from one another and slowly walk to one another. You have to stop, shake hands, casually chat, and then move on. Your dog is only allowed to show casual interest. Your dog should not be smelling the owner, smelling the dog, going up to the dog, jumping up on the owner. They really need to be under your control. The ninth step is reacting or not reacting to a distraction. This shows that your dog is confident at all times, even faced with a common distraction. The evaluator will present 2 different distractions. It may be dropping an object, or rolling a dolly, having a jogger run by, etc. We actually had a natural distraction happen during the test. A woman ran up to us to ask us a question, and it was very distracting. Noodle wasn't really fazed by her. So your dog really can't show much of an interest. They can react and even appear a little startled as long as they don't panic, try to run away, or show signs of aggressiveness. Noodle kisses. You're so sweet. It's okay if your dog appears a little startled. As long as they don't seem panicked, show any signs of aggression, or try to run away, you're fine. Again, it's okay to offer praise and encouragement along the way. The 10th and final step is supervised separation. This shows that your dog can be left with a trusted person and still maintains training and proper manners. The evaluator will hold your dog's leash while you walk out of sight for 3 minutes. I was really nervous about this one. So I had Noodle lay down in his down position because he knows that means he's not going anywhere for a minute. I suggest setting your dog up for success by putting them in a sit or down position. That way they're prepared for what's about to come. It's okay if your dog gets out of position, but they should not be anxiously pacing back and forth, barking consistently, whining consistently, or extending the leash. Evaluators are allowed to talk to the dog, but can't engage in excessive talking, petting, or cooing them. And those are the 10 steps. After you pass the test, you'll get this precious CGC ribbon, and you'll also be able to apply for a CGC certification title after your dog's name through AKC. If your dog is not registered through the AKC, you can go ahead and do that in order to have that CGC title after. After their name, it'll say CGC. At that point, you've earned it. Wherever you are in your dog's training journey, the CGC test is a great goal to strive for. Training with your dog is really such a rewarding experience, and earning a title for it is even more rewarding. The more work you put into your dog, the more you will get out of your relationship with them. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. See you next time.